He is.
He is chomping at the bit, is Jeremy Nordquist. I'm Crawford here along with Jay Nordquist, Mark Dodson, and Siwa, Chris Young. It's been a minute since we've been down in the blocks. You know, we kind of cruise in the summer, but this panel, I'll put these three guys up against any three guys of sports intel and opinions, college football, college basketball, especially college basketball in particular. And I thought we'd get going here mid-September. Football's going, and we are only, 5 weeks away from Michigan basketball, which everybody is girding their loins for. Top 5 in some preseason poll is Dusty May's team with an exhibition game in New York City against the Johnnies of St. John's. It's going to be televised. That's going to be awesome. See how good Michigan is. But let's start with football, guys. Let's start with Bryce Underwood. Mark Dodson, is he overhyped? Is the ceiling a mile high? Your take on number 19.
Probably both. He's really good. And you know, some people have already, some Michigan fans especially, and there have been some third parties too that have hyped him he can never live up to all the hype that some people have placed on him. Yeah. But he's really good. He's I'm trying to think of arm talent over the years. I can't think of anybody. The only person that I can think of that showed it at the college level, arm talent comparison, same area code. I think Bryce might be better, might be Henny and maybe Drew Henson. But maybe.
But here's what I evaluate that on, and I use the legs as we saw last week, improvising legs, improvising play, not necessarily design plays. He reminds me of a guy who tore up Michigan, Tom Brady's second to last year, 1998. Donovan McNabb from Syracuse.
Oh,
man.
He reminds me of him.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. I don't think physically as gifted.
I don't think he's as athletic as McNabb was, but
I agree. McNabb quite strong.
Yeah. But I mean, big, strong, physical, that's a
McNabb was really smart.
Mm-hmm.
He's smart.
Yeah. And
it remains to be seen. I'm not saying Bryce is dumb, but Bryce he's a freshman.
No, I'm just throwing that nugget out here. So when we go back to this podcast 4 years from now, I'll give you all I told you so.
I got a comparison.
I thought you were going to say Vince Young.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. But I mean, I'm going a little step further. Jeremy, what are you going to say?
My comparison is a little bit different. I think his expectations are through the roof, way too high for 17. Maybe he's 18 now.
Just 18 now.
Terrell Pryor.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think he's got better arm talent.
Well, I'm not saying that, but he's athletically gifted. But when I see him throw the ball, he's got him. But then sometimes he just misses it by a mile, right? You're like, what's going on there?
Yeah, he's young.
But he's young. He's young. But I just think you guys. I mean, Donovan McNabb. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Is he? I didn't know that. Is he in the Hall of Fame?
No, he's gonna be. He should be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
right?
I just knew he just chewed Michigan up. After he chewed Michigan up, it was. I don't like that dude.
He's in the NFL for years.
It was an eye-opening moment for Michigan fans of having a dude like that that we never had. And then what we do 5 years later, we go back to concrete-footed John Navarre. I mean, it was like we didn't get the memo on that, but John Navarre was a great quarterback in Michigan. I love dual threat quarterbacks for how it stresses a defense, even a really well coached defense like Brent Venables or other defenses like him. So that's why I like.
Well, but that's the frustrating part about that Oklahoma game. we bring in this, potentially, Heisman candidate quarterback and all that, and he doesn't play up to the level that we expect because everyone around him didn't show up. The offensive line didn't show up. They didn't get off the damn bus. So, that's going to be the tough part about this season. If he's back there and he's supposed to be this world beater, but if he doesn't have guys protecting him and giving him a chance, and he's having to throw these little sidearm, little bullshit throws and all that, like, how good is he really going to be? So it starts with the offensive line, and then it trickles to what Underwood can do. You're
only good as your weakest link around you in sport of football, and when you got 11 guys on each side of the field. I want to segue quickly because I got a lot of topics I want to throw at you guys. The Nebraska game, 3:30 CBS in Lincoln. Michigan's been on the road in a rowdy environment in Norman, Oklahoma. It didn't go well. So this is their second loud environment. What is your expectations? We'll do a snake draft here. See why you're first off. What do you expect Saturday out of Michigan?
Well, to piggyback on what I just said, I expect the offensive line to show up. I expect them to get on the plane and get off the bus and actually get there and play up to at least play to their normal level, not play below what they should be playing at. I'm not expecting them to be world beaters. They still got a big learning curve, but they got to give Bryce time. They got to give a little bit of a push. Like they can't just fold every time. They've got to give the quarterback time. They've got to give these running backs time to make a little move. They got to give the receivers time to get downfield so Bryce can hit them. Where when the pocket's collapsing and he's scrambling and trying to throw off the run at 18 years old, he's not quite there yet. Maybe 5-6 games into the season, maybe he can do it, but you got to have time to get to that. So I'm expecting much better play from the offensive line. I'm expecting, which will trickle down to the running backs playing better, Bryce playing better, and everything just kind of working better than what we showed 2 weeks ago in Oklahoma.
Okay, so you got Michigan winning this game.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's close. It's a field goal, but it's, I see Michigan winning this one.
Okay, how about you, Jed Norquist? Who wins?
Michigan gets out-coached again.
Whoa.
Outplayed at Nebraska, which is one of the – because remember, the coach for Nebraska is an old NFL guy. He's known for developing players. They get out-coached. They get outplayed. Again, they haven't showed me anything. I think Nebraska wins by a touchdown, to be honest with you.
Okay. How about you, Mark Dodson, the dot man?
I want to go back to your question, though, because I based on Chris' answer, I don't know if he heard. Is it what you expect or what you hope? Which one is it? Are you asking?
I'm asking what you expect happens. Your prediction.
I don't know what to expect from these dudes, man. Because no, for real. Their head coach isn't going to be there. They got Biff,
the Biffer,
the full-time Nautilus looking guy, I guess, when he can.
I love Biff.
Bryce is still young. Nebraska is as hostile, if not more a hostile environment than Oklahoma. We want to act like Michigan philosophically flipped the script and turned on the light when it came to playing Central Michigan. But relative to OU, but that performance, what we saw insofar as this leashing or unleashing of Bryce Underwood narrative goes, was more based on the fact they were playing a really good team that was saying, we're not just going to let you move up and down the field freely like maybe a Central Michigan or maybe to a certain extent a New Mexico would. So you're going to have to play differently against us. And I don't know if they are wedded enough at this point, develop enough at this point early in the season, quarterback, O-line, defense, etc., to be able to play a team that I expect Nebraska to be. I think Nebraska's formidable. I might be wrong on that.
Did you see Nebraska? I watched the entire game against Cincinnati at Arrowhead.
No, I haven't seen them play.
Okay. I did. They didn't look great.
They didn't look good.
No.
But here's the situation. They're at home. And as you know, that was
a home game. That was 80% Husker fans. 80.
Yeah, it was still not at their home.
It's still not at home. It's still not in Lincoln.
And you know how long this game has been targeted on their schedule. You know how long they've been looking forward to this game.
Yes.
They're gonna bring it. They're gonna let it all out.
Okay, so bottom line, Dot Man's picking Huskers, as is Jeremy.
No.
Oh,
That's what you just said, man, didn't you?
I know. I just said it's going to be a tougher game.
Well, I want a prediction.
Oh shoot!
Come on, you're not helping.
I haven't seen a minute. I haven't seen a minute of Nebraska.
Well, and listen, we're not holding you. Just your gut. You did an evaluation.
My gut says Nebraska.
Okay, Nebraska for Dotman, Jay Nordquist, CY, and I have Michigan as well. I have them 1 point win for
based on what?
Based on what I've seen. And what and based on what I've seen, talking to players, and
based on what I've seen from Nebraska, I watched that whole game against Cincinnati. I was not impressed.
I watched the entire game against Cincinnati.
Here's what I will say: there is no question Michigan has more talent than Nebraska.
I agree.
Ooh,
that's the truth.
Agree.
Yeah.
No question.
I agree.
Yeah.
No question.
Agree. He's right. I agree. They should win the game.
Yep.
It's
just a matter of if they show up.
Y'all don't. How do y'all? Where's the Sharon Moore not being available factor into this?
I think it's big. I think it's big, but I'm not a big.
I think he's been involved, and you don't think he's got his fingerprints on this game. You're crazy. He does.
No, I didn't say that. I did not say that. He is not going to be there though.
I understand.
And we're acting like that doesn't matter.
Well,
right?
it does matter. It does matter. But if the Biffer allows Chip Lindsey and Wing to do their thing, and I still think Chip Lindsey will prove to be a good OC.
Didn't the Biff go like 2-10 at Charlotte?
Oklahoma?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't have anything to work with. Doesn't matter. I mean, all he's got to do is orchestrate.
Okay.
Orchestrate.
All right, man.
Okay. So
I hope Michigan. If you're forced to say who I think is going to win, it's a tough one, man.
Okay, I want to segue over before we leave college football. I want to talk about our other school here in East Lansing. Is thrown throw away from actually all four of us. Michigan State goes to USC. They play 11 o'clock at the Coliseum Eastern Time. Okay, now Michigan State has not won a regular season game west of Colorado since 1957. 1957. Okay. It's tough. We saw what Minnesota went to Berkeley and got beat by 2 touchdowns by the Cal Golden Bears. Michigan's regular season success on the West Coast, not good. Okay. What happens to the Spartans in this game, Mark Dodson? Do they get boat raced like the odds makers think they will be as 18-point underdog?
That's a big number. I heard that number and I was shocked. I don't know what that's saying. That's saying something about something. I just don't know what it's. No, for real, that's a big number, man.
That's saying a lot about something.
That's it. And I just, I don't watch a whole lot of Michigan State football. And I haven't watched any of USC football. I still want to respect Lincoln Riley. So I think he's capable. So I think that might be a pretty decent team out there at USC, especially with their new defensive coordinator.
Yeah, they got new DC, and their offense is even better than before. And they were 1 missed tackle away from beating Michigan last year in Ann Arbor.
Yeah. I got a lot of respect for Smith too, though.
Yeah. You do? Okay. A lot of
I respect Smith. I just don't know, if it's going to work out at Michigan State.
A lot of Michigan State people want Brent Key, the Georgia Tech coach, to follow the AD up here and be the head coach next year. I mean, they're already counting on that. A lot of Michigan State people I know, they want him to to implode here, get rid of him. They don't like it for whatever reason. Jeremy Northwest, your thoughts?
Because Smith doesn't show up and do cheers at the fundraisers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's not that kind of. He's not that kind of guy. Anyway,
what the Smith hire is, what he is he's a placeholder. He had to come in, deal with all the nonsense from Mel Tucker, get the program to a certain point, which he's going to do, and then he's going to move on, and they're going to bring in whoever the next guy is. That's what Smith is. Smith. I love Tommy. I love Tommy Emiker. You know, he's my coach. I love him, but that's why he was
Playful.
brought in. That's why he was brought into Michigan. He was brought in to clean up the Ellerby mess that led up to Beeline. That's what Smith is at Michigan State. He's cleaning up the mess, and he's going to get them to a certain point. You're not going to hear any issues or problems with the football team at all. But like Dot said, he's not the rah-rah guy. He's not going to the varsity S Club meetings and getting the crowd hyped up. That's not him. He's going to take care of business. He's going to do what he can do with the resources he's got, and then he'll move on, and then they'll go after the next offensive coordinator from Georgia or whomever it is to come up here, and that'll be the guy.
But back to your question, though, I got SC beating Michigan State. Boat racing, I don't know, but I'd be shocked if Michigan State pulled that one out.
A 31-10, something like that. Jeremy Norquist, your thoughts on Michigan State, USC, and are you staying up for it?
I'm going to stay up for it. Shout out to my homeboy CY for saying the varsity S Club. My wife's an old letter winner at Michigan State, obviously, but I don't. With saying that, they're going to get dump trucked. Michigan State might not win another game the rest of the year.
Ooh.
Whoa! They got UCLA in East Lansing. You're telling me in East on October 11th. You're telling me UCLA is going to beat Michigan State?
I have no idea. I just said what I said. I said
they might.
They might not because listen, I like the Aiden Childs kid, but it can't be 1 on 11.
And Nick Marsh is probably not playing their best stretch guy on offense.
And that kid might be one of the best receivers in the Big Ten. But if you can't block, you can't get him the ball. You got to get him on little 6-yard outs. Like that ain't gonna work. We'll see what happens. Obviously, UCLA is a bad team. They're bad. But I mean, Michigan State, they won 3 games against what I think are bad teams. Boston College, took them to the limit.
But BC went out and lost to Stanford this past week.
Right. And Youngstown State.
And Youngstown State.
Internet just went down.
Is an FCS school. That's what he's going to say.
That was Izzo jumping in.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, that was something. But they're a JV. Youngstown State is a JV team. And so we'll see what happens. But Michigan State, I like CY said, they are the Mel Tucker thing brought them back 20 years. That's all I got to say.
Okay, CY, what happens? What happens, CY?
Oh, Sparty's going to go out to the West Coast and get rolled.
Rolled?
Oh, yeah. I 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdown loss. Like, I see them not showing up at all. Oh, it's so late, and we have to start at 11 o'clock our time, and just all the nonsense. All the Sparty fans I'm talking to are all fucking complaining. Oh, I'm not staying up that late to watch them play and all that. Like, they're all whining already. Like,
yeah.
I see them just getting absolutely trucked by USC.
Well, then that's going to expedite the key talk. And then maybe the Smith to UCLA talk. I don't know.
Yes, Smith to UCLA. That's right. I don't like Brett Key, by the way. Like what? I mean, that to me that.
Why don't you like him, man?
Why would you like him? I mean, why would you like him? That's like, do you remember when they hired Mel Tucker and they were like, "Oh, this is a good hire"? I'm like, he's under 500. That's like Brett Key. If you look at his career, I believe I don't even know if I'm being like, I haven't looked at it, but I bet it's about 500. Brett Key, like, does that get you going?
500.
I don't know either.
I'm not sure if it's 500, but what he's done is he's
good. I like this. I'm just off the cuff. I bet it's about 500. At the time at Georgia Tech.
You went at Georgia Tech. If you get some fervor going there, that's a pro sports town. That's hard to do. That's really hard to do.
Yep.
And I commend. I'm not telling Michigan State who think this is a huge pivotal year 3, because when I talked to Angelique Shingalis after the game on Saturday, she thinks Luke Fickell's going to get whacked at Wisconsin after that loss. The third year on these big their buyouts are doable with the donors at these. They're doable buyouts.
Yeah.
And I think that there's going to be a lot of movement going on after this year. So,
And I want to tell you something I was dead wrong about. I thought Luke Fickell was one of the most perfect hires 3 years ago.
Everyone did.
Michigan State wanted him in the worst way.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's not getting it done in Madison,
No.
baby. Man, you gotta figure out what that thing is before I want to move to basketball briefly. What did you find out, Mr. Research here about?
Brett Key.
Yeah, hold on a second.
He's calculating.
3.
No. I just know that last week they
Clemson.
beat
Clemson. A field goal.
who they beat last week.
They beat a good team.
Clemson.
No, they beat
Was it Notre
Clemson.
Dame?
No, Clemson.
They beat Clemson last week. They damn near beat Georgia. Say it again. Ever since he's been there. Now it might not be reflected in wins or losses.
The AD loves him, so I mean that's all that matters. Okay, I want to move over to basketball before we, for these last 8 or 9 minutes, because it's like at the tailgate part. I mean, we were talking at the tailgate. My God, Michigan season tickets for basketball sold out. Sold out. CY, the former number 45 for the Wolverines, start with you. Are we getting too excited that this Michigan basketball team could be a
Yes, because we don't know what we've got yet. We were all excited when we got Yaxel, and now he's a first-team All-American preseason and all this stuff. Like, okay, yeah, he put up 17 at UAB. He tested the waters in the NBA. Like, UAB doesn't play in the Big Ten. You got a chance to be an Elite Eight team, maybe a Final Four team. If he goes out there and averages, 12-6, we're not going to the Elite Eight. I think there's a lot of, I think it's kind of the Bryce Underwood thing. There's a lot of hype going around this team because there's a lot of expectations on these guys, and it's all got to come together.
I love that.
Yes.
What Michigan has going. Jeremy Norquist, your thoughts on the Wolverines? Are we a little too pie in the sky thinking be one shiny moment for the Dusty Mason?
Maybe one shiny moment, but no, I don't. I disagree with Steve. I mean, listen, I think your expectation this year should be at least Elite Eight. That should be a fair expectation. They've got that much talent. They're older. Yeah, Yaxel, he's been through it. All these guys in North Carolina transfers been through it. All these guys have been through it. They're going to bring. I mean, they're not young. They're coming in their season. They're ready to rock. I mean, they are. Like I said, a top one team in the Big Ten. I think. If you tell me who's better, I mean, I would much rather. I like Michigan better than Illinois, Purdue. I like Michigan.
On paper,
I
like Michigan better than all of them. It's all a matter of how it's all going to come together. That's
right.
the thing.
But
if you go matchup to matchup across any team in the Big Ten, I'll take Michigan's guy head to head against, with the exception of Braden Smith playing against any one of our point guards. Like I'll take any other matchup.
But even the Braden Smith, Braden Smith's the best point guard in the country by far. I've been saying that for years. But the North Carolina point guard that's now at Michigan,
okay, yeah.
I mean, he can play. Like, he's the guy that could actually feels like stay with Braden Smith. I mean, I'm not saying he's better than him. Not saying that. That's crazy.
No, I agree. I agree. But that's the one matchup where it's like, okay, Braden Smith is clearly better. But you go down the rest of Purdue's roster and you look at our roster, it's like, I'll take our 4 against their 4, and then whatever the point guards do is whatever the point guards do. But it's all got to come together. You can't throw that many pieces together again, even though they've all got experience from all these different places, and Mara's already been through it and all this kind of stuff. And how does it all work? How does it all gel?
Yeah.
But that's the problem, and if we can get that figured out by January 1st, then I think we got a good chance. If it takes until February 1st to get that shit figured out, then it's a problem.
But the answer is TC, get your pom-poms ready.
No, I mean, I'm salivating at that depth at guard when you got, and I'm not even counting Trey McKinney, but you got LJ Kaysen and Elliot Cadeau. They got, and Namari Burnett's been there forever, and Roddy Gale. I mean, my God, the rotation I mean, that's quality rotation. And that's what I think is going to be key to this team is guard play.
Yep, and been there, done that. They've all been there, and then they've all done it.
Yep.
Mark Johnson, your thoughts on Michigan basketball?
I got a couple questions first.
In your excitement?
What does season sellout mean numbers wise? Anybody know?
Well, that's a really good question because I want to find that out. When you say they announced it, they sold out. I mean, there's obviously holding back tickets for the opposition and other situations, but
yeah, that's just the tickets that you can buy for season tickets. That's not every game is sold out. That just means all the opportunities to buy packages for the season are sold.
But I still think that's it's a sign the passion level and the belief in Dusty May is there.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this?
Without question, it's not a bad sign. It cannot be remotely considered. I'm just wondering the significance. And then relative to the last time Michigan is, I don't know if they've ever announced it this way before. Maybe it's occurred, but they just never announced it before. But
if it would have occurred, they would have announced it.
Yeah, I may have missed it though. I'm just saying I may have missed it.
I don't remember it ever happening, especially not this early.
Yeah.
Tom, do you remember this ever being announced?
No, I haven't.
I don't.
But I'm just, I mean, Michigan football is what people typically talk about. But and I hit 3 or 4 tailgates, and the basketball thing got brought up.
Oh yeah, you better believe that. You better believe that some of the interest stems from the fact that people are not as excited about Michigan football as they normally are.
That's part of it too.
I don't think there's any question there. But they can get up with Michigan football as soon as Michigan goes out and beats Nebraska this weekend.
Then it flips back.
Then it's yes.
They'll get heated up again. They'll be talking about we turned Bryce loose and whatever else. I saw Cheddar a little while back, and I asked him. I said, "Hey man, how good are you gonna be?" He said, "Real good." And I just wanted to make sure I had the right perspective.
No, and he's
a
guy. He's a guy that's really.
I said better than last year. He said, without question. That was enough for me.
Yeah,
that was enough for me because they were good last year. Even though people might not appreciate just how good they were last year, you win that Big Ten tournament coming off the season that they had. That was an accomplishment.
Here's another indicator. So at the Central Michigan game, always the first or second home game, they announced the Big Ten champions from the previous year of all sports. Okay, so they brought out the basketball team as Big Ten tournament champions of last year. And I'm in the box. We got a little bit. I thought the crowd reaction was noticeable.
Yeah,
the crowd went crazy.
Yep,
it went louder than I've ever seen.
He turned them on, man. He turned them on. The other question, though, when it comes to completing the answer to your question, Tom, is I'll throw this out to you, Chris, and you, Jeremy. Do you really have a feel yet for Dusty, the coach, and what ideally he wants his teams to look like? I don't.
Nope. I have no idea, and I think he's one of those coaches where he's got a basic concept of what he wants to do, but he's very willing and able to adjust his style to what his players are capable of doing. I tell you, when he got the 2 7-footers in and he's like, okay, I'm going to play these guys together. I guarantee you, he didn't have a playbook of how I'm going to run offensive sets with a 7-footer that wants to bring the ball up and come off ball screens from another 7-footer. You don't have that designed in your playbook sitting on your desk somewhere. He had to evolve his coaching style. And I don't think we know what it's going to look like. I don't know if we're going to have 3 7-footers on the floor at the same time. I don't know if we're going to go small. I don't know what we're going to do. So I think he's able to adjust. I don't think it's just, okay, we have to do this. We have to pound the ball inside. We have to do, X, Y, and Z with Dusty. I think he's very, very able to adjust to what he's got.
I don't disagree with that. I thought last year the roster was forced on him. He had to bring in some people. He had to bring in some people. All right. And he had to bring in some people like real quickly. So he was limited as to how strategic he can be. Now I'm looking at him being a little bit more intentional, a little bit more strategic, a little bit more calculating when it comes to how he wants his teams to look going down the road.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and he was able to go around
to
to these other teams and cherry pick the guys that he wanted that could fit into his idea who would match up well with whomever, as opposed to last year where it was just like, oh shit, this guy's available in the portal. We got to get him because we need someone that can dribble the ball.
And,
you know?
and that's why I think that Dusty May is such a good coach, because he can switch with the players he's got. Now that is a good coach, where you're not just playing one way. You can change it to play a certain way, and he's been doing that. He's played differently at Florida Atlantic. He played differently at Michigan, and he's probably going to play differently this year, which is impressive.
Yeah, Jeremy, I want to ask you real quick.
That's what I'm trying to get a feel for. Because look, man, that team, his team this year is long as heck. He keeps recruiting the most recent commitment.
Yep.
What's his name? Who's the most recent guy? 16 guy they just got
this past week. I can't remember.
Costello is huge.
Someone.
Until he signs, I don't pay attention.
Yep. Until he's on campus.
He's coming.
Yeah.
He's actually been in Michigan's pocket for a while.
Yeah, and he beat out North Carolina and Michigan State on him too. They beat out some good teams. I want to ask Jeremy real quick.
Purdue.
Yeah, and Purdue. Jeremy, would you rather be a Michigan State basketball fan or a Michigan basketball fan? Who's got the better program as we're sitting right now?
Did you ask Jeremy?
I've been very honest. Like, for a while here, I would never disparage Tom Izzo, but Tom Izzo, and I've said this for years, he's done. He is done.
Whoa.
Like, they are done competing. Like, Michigan is
FYI, calling him dumb.
Done, not dumb. Done. They're done competing. Done.
Calling him done, though, is disparaging. I just want you, in case you were trying to finesse that somehow.
You might think it's disparaging. Who wants, like, Tom Izzo is a hard-nosed coach. In these days and times, who wants to play for Napoleon?
Yeah.
No one.
Wow.
And I'm not trying, and that's not, like, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Wow. Strong statement. See why? Your thoughts on Jeremy's?
No, I agree. Jeremy and I have had this conversation many times. Like, Izzo can't go out and recruit the top 5-star guys and get them to come anymore. That's not a thing because, one, they don't have the money to get the guys in here. The NIL is not good enough in Michigan State to get these guys. And two, they don't want to deal with somebody that's going to chase them up the tunnel and berate them and all that kind of shit. Guys don't want to deal with that. My generation, that was normal. Yeah. Now these kids don't want to deal with this. They don't want to deal with it. And him wanting to come back and still chasing another championship and all that, I don't see it. Maybe he'll win the Big Ten regular season, maybe a Big Ten tournament championship. But putting something together and running all the way through March and April and getting back to the Final Four and all that, I don't see it.
Not happening. Dotman, last word for Dotman on that. Wrap it up.
Hey man, I'll just punt on that. They won the Big Ten championship last year, regular season championship, and I don't think it was necessarily close. So that somebody was doing something right. Mm-hmm. And Fears, well, they got Fears, who was a high-end recruit. And who was the guy that just transferred that turned out to be not so good? The long guy that ended up transferring to UCLA. What was his name?
Booker.
Booker was a high-profile guy that they got.
Booker's going to go out
but
to UCLA.
you missed something, Doc.
Booker's
they got the wrong Fears.
Yes, they did.
Oklahoma Fears.
Yes, they needed it. Yes, they needed his little brother. Yes.
Yeah.
But
and that says a lot. The brother
go out to UCLA, and he's going to put up 15 a game. He's going to cook out there.
Now tell me something, boys. Now tell me something. You got a guy that his brother went there. You can't even get the younger brother who goes to Oklahoma and is the number 7th pick in the NBA draft. Yeah. What does that say?
Mm-hmm. Okay, good point. What does that say?
Well, I would also, if we're going to go there, I might also bring up Richardson. They didn't. The young Richardson didn't even sniff Michigan State, or vice versa. And his
the
brother,
younger one. Yeah.
So hey man,
okay.
And Fears, the young Fears ended up reclassifying to go to Oklahoma So there was some movement there. I don't ever think that Michigan State was really in play with him. I don't know, but I don't know the story.
Recruiting's a hard nut to crack, and the fact, including NIL, and I don't even know all that stuff. But guys, this is a great podcast. We got to do it again in another couple weeks, and I might even take that little snippet from Jeremy on Tom Izzo and do a little segment placement on that and put it out on TikTok and see how those Spartan fans think about Jeremy Norquist, stone's throw away from the Breslin Center. Does he live?
Hey man, Jeremy, if you ever say Dot, you're done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done podcasting, man. I can't do it. If y'all ever say Dot, accept it, you're done. I have to say, okay.
That's a strong statement. I think he's talking about done winning championships or
done competing for national championships.
Yeah. We'll qualify for. Guys, great job. Until you're here on the Crawford Podcasting Network, Mark Dodson, Jeremy Norquist, and CY, Detroit Catholic Central, Chris Young. Until next time, be safe, people.
All right, Tom.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
All right, people.